Post an employee to another EU country and host country labor law takes over after 12 months, while their A1 certificate keeps them in home social security for up to 24. Those are two separate clocks running at different speeds, and at Aspirock, we call this the two clocks rule, because the most common posting failure is mixing them up. It is all governed by the EU Posted Workers Directive and its 2018 revision. Here is how both clocks actually work and what the fines look like. A posting is when your employee temporarily provides a service in another member state while staying employed by you. It covers three forms: working under a contract with a client there, an intra-group secondment, or agency supply. Attending a conference, a meeting, or a trade fair is not a posting because no service is being provided. But delivering training, installing equipment, or serving a client on site is. And be careful, even for a trip that is not a posting, the A1 certificate rules still apply. From day one of a posting, the host country's core rules apply. That includes remuneration, and since the 2018 reform, that means all mandatory pay elements, overtime rates and allowances included, not just the minimum wage. It also covers maximum working hours, minimum paid leave, health and safety, and accommodation standards. Equal pay here does not mean matching a local colleague's salary. It means paying every element the host country's law and universal collective agreements make mandatory. Clock 1 is labor law. Once the posting passes 12 months, or 18 if you file a motivated notification with the host authority, virtually the whole of the host country's employment law applies, except termination procedures and supplementary pensions. The posting does not have to end at 12 months. That is a myth. But your cost and compliance model changes. And there is an anti-abuse rule. Successive workers on the same task at the same place aggregate toward the same clock. Clock 2 is Social Security. And A1 certificate proves your employee stays in their home system, so no host country social contributions for up to 24 months. Conditions are strict. They cannot replace another posted worker. The employment relationship must genuinely stay with you, and your company must have real activity at home. Host authorities are bound by a valid A1 until it is withdrawn. For people who work across several countries, a different rule applies. 25% or more of their work at home keeps them in the home system. Now the rule nobody reads. The regulation has no minimum stay or trip length, so strictly speaking, an A1 certificate is required from day one, even for a one-day visit. Enforcement varies, and even the Swiss authorities admit demanding one for every short trip is disproportionate. But where hosts do check, the numbers are serious. France charges around €4,000 per worker, Austria between 1 and 10,000, and Switzerland up to 5,000 francs. The certificate is free. The gap between strict law and practice is where traveling employees get caught. Separately from the one, most countries demand advance notification of postings through national portals. France's portal is called SIPSI, with fines up to €4,000 per worker, 8,000 on repeat, capped at €500,000. Belgium's Limosa fines run from €2,400 to €48,000 per breach. Dutch fines run from €1,500 to €4,500 per breach. Austria treats every late day as a separate offense. Germany's wage-related fines reach €500,000. Every country, its own portal, its own form before the work starts. This is not theoretical law. In one coordinated week in October 2025, the European Labour Authority inspected 792 workers and 96 construction companies across 14 member states, and Austria alone issued over €250,000 in fines. Construction, transport, and industrial projects are the priority targets. If your people cross borders on projects, assume you will eventually be asked for the A1 and the notification on site that day. 3 changes to watch. Brussels has proposed one single declaration portal to replace 27 national forms. But it is not law yet, and countries can opt out, so the maze survives for now. A digital A1 certificate is in the pipeline for the autumn 2026 package. And for cross-border remote workers, 24 countries have signed a framework letting people telework from their residence country up to half their time without switching Social Security, if both employer and employee opt in. None of this removes today's obligations. One final trap. Posting allowances only count toward host pay if your paperwork says what they are for. If an allowance is not clearly allocated, the law treats all of it as expense reimbursement, and none of it counts as pay, which can silently put you below the host pay floor. The Aspirock posting checklist is 3 lines. A1 certificate before departure, host notification before work starts, day 1 pay elements mapped. And one thought from our side of the fence. If the role in the host country is genuinely long-term, posting is often the wrong tool altogether. Employing the person locally through an employer of record removes both clocks, the portals, and the fines, and that is exactly what Aspirock does in over 70 countries. The checklist and Aspirock's guide to the Posted Workers Directive are in the description.